Hi, kami ang Group 9 and we will discuss about the apprenticeship and learnership. Ngayon, let's talk about the general guidelines or yung laws that are applicable dito sa ating tatalakayin. So, the apprenticeship and learnership program, it shall be implemented based on the following. So, una, the Republic Act No. 7796 o yung Technical Education and Skills Development Authority Act of 1994. Number 2 is Presidential Decree Number 442 of the Labor Code of the Philippines. Number 3, Executive Order Number 111 that was issued on December 24, 1986. Number 4 is Republic Act Number 11230 or yung Tulong Trabaho Act. And then the last one is the TESDA Circular Number 62. Ngayon, under the Article 57 of the Labor Code, merong objectives. Bakit nga ba tayo may ganitong apprenticeship and learnership program? So una is to help meet the demand of the economy for a competent workforce. Of course, if you are well-trained and you are skilled na talaga, mas magiging produktibo ka na kapag ka ikaw ay nasa iyong trabaho na talaga, hindi ba? Then number 2 is to establish apprenticeship and learnership standards para sa protection din ng ating mga apprentices and then yung ating mga learners. Then number 3, to promote the engagement of young workers through training and development. Number 4 is to increase productivity and yung competitiveness of enterprises by ensuring the availability of skilled human resource. So, ibig sabihin dito, para ba mas madagdagan yung pagiging productive natin at yung kahusayan natin, para once we are nandun tayo ulit sa pinagtatrabahuan natin, talagang we are skilled worker talaga. And then, the number 5 is to harness corporate social responsibility towards the development of skilled manpower to meet the requirements of industry. So, kapag halimbawa, ako ay skilled worker na, from wala akong skill, and then naging skilled workers ako, of course, magbibigay ako ng magandang, I'll be productive, and then magiging mahusay akong manggagawa sa aking kumpanya na pinagtatrabahuhan. So ngayon, under the Article 58 naman ng Labor Code, talakayin natin yung mga kailangan nating malaman, yung mga definition of terms about this apprenticeship and learnership program. So unang-una, yung apprentice. Sabi dito, it refers to a person undergoing training for an approved apprenticeable occupation. So, ibig sabihin, ako yon. So, halimbawa, ako ay isang apprentice. So, ako yung tao na yon na nasa kanya as apprentice. And then, sumunod ay yung apprenticeship. Ito naman yung training na kung saan, compulsory with, ito yung training na kung saan it involves yung contract between si apprentice, between ako, at yung employer ko. And then, yung apprenticeship agreement naman, ito naman yung kontrata naming dalawa. Then, yung apprenticeshable occupation naman, ito naman yung form of employment wherein yung training, it requires to expose, halimbawa ako, sa trabaho, theoretical, and then, dapat 3 months lang siya at hindi siya mag-i-exceed ng 6 months. And then, katulad nung nabanggit ko, yung apprenticeship ay 3 hanggang 6 months lang, while yung pagiging learner naman, kapag halimbawa ikaw ay learner, ito lamang ay nasa 3 months lang siya. Ngayon, kung halimbawa tatanungin nyo, ano-ano ba yung klase ng apprenticeable occupation? So, yung apprenticeship program, it may be conducted sa iba't ibang klase ng trabaho or ng labor, such as halimbawa yung agriculture, yung forestry, then yung fishery, automotive, yung land transportation, garments, healthcare, then yung maritime, tapos may pyrotechnics din. Marami siya. If you want more details about it, you may visit the website of TESDA at nandoon din yung kung ano yung mga klaseng test din na kailangan yung maipasa as apprentice and learner din. Okay? Yung enterprise naman, tumutukoy naman siya sa pagpa-participate ng establishment or your company na syempre dapat registered sila. And dapat they follow the Philippine laws then wherein they directly engages sa apprentice or learner based doon sa programa na ito. And then, meron din tayo dito yung mga hazarded workplace. Siyempre, hindi ibig sabihin na learner lang tayo or apprentice lang tayo is hindi na tayo aalagaan ng ating empleyado, di ba? And then, ngayon, yung learner naman, so, ako yun. Ako yung tao na hinire as trainee sa industrial occupation which are non-apprenticeable. And pwede kong matutunan yung mga trabaho through practical learning on the job. Dapat yun, hindi siya mag-exceed ng 3 months. Then yung learnership, ito naman ay it refers to any practical training on a learnable occupation na dapat masupplement by related theoretical instruction din, katulad ulit, not exceeding 3 months. So, yung learnership agreement, ito yung agreement namin dalawa ng aking employer. So, kontrata ito. And then, yung wage ng apprentice and then ng learner ay 75% lamang. Bakit 75% pa lamang? Of course, alam naman natin, mas mababa yung sahod ng mga apprentice and learners kasi sila ay trainees pa lamang. But once na na-hire na sila, ay magiging nasa minimum wage na rin or nasa tamang pasahod na rin ang ibibigay dapat ng kumpanya. Okay? Ngayon, ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng apprenticeship and then learnership? Yung apprenticeship and learnership, they are similar. Bakit? Because they both mean training periods para dun sa job that it requires skills that can be acquired through the actual work experience. And because yung learner and apprentice, not fully productive siya as the regular workers, the learner and yung apprentice, they may be paid yung mababa nga ng 25% sa sinasahod ng regular na empleyado. And then, aside from that, magkaiba sila sa focus and terms of training. Si apprentice nag-train sila highly skilled job. Yun sila, or yung mga job that can be found only in highly technical industries. Because yung highly skilled job sila, kaya nagtatagal hanggang 6 months yung kanilang training. Si learner naman, mas maiksi yung kanilang job or yung kanilang training because non-apprenticeable sila. So, practical skills sila. Na kung saan, yung practical skills na yun, pwedeng matutunan in less than 6 months. So, in 3 months lang siya. And then, aside from that, yung job ng learners ay mas madaling matutunan kaysa dun sa mga apprentice na mga nagte-training.
Qualifications. Apprentice. To qualify as an apprentice, a person should be at least 15 years of age, provided that those who are at least 15 but not more than 18 years of age may be eligible for the apprenticeship only in non-hazardous occupation. So dito daw po sa qualification, kailangan daw po hindi ka 15 below, hindi ka 18 above. Pag daw po 15 hanggang 18 is nasa non-hazardous occupation po sila. Next is be physically fit for the occupation in which the apprentice intends to be trained. So dapat po dito kailangan physically fit ka, healthy yung pangangatawan mo, at kailangan willing to train ka po as an apprenticeship. Next is possess good moral character, vocational aptitude, and capacity for apprenticeship as determined by the enterprise. So dito daw po kailangan may good moral character ka. So kailangan hindi ka attitude dito and sinusunod mo yung nakakataas sa'yo sa isang workplace, sa isang trabaho. And have the ability to comprehend and follow oral and written instruction. So dito naman kailangan, it may be oral siya or written, kailangan meron kang ability na magawa yon at masundan at naiintindihan mo whether it is oral or written. Next is not be a graduate of any apprenticeship program of the registered company provided and have the specific requirements of the training regulation. So kailangan po hindi ka graduate sa mga apprenticeship program ng mga ibang registered company and not be a graduate of and have met the specific requirements of the training regulation. So dapat yung mga requirements mo is mag-meet dun sa training na papasukan mo. So what are the qualifications to be an apprentice? The qualification of apprentice are be at least 15 years of age, provided those who are at least 15 years of age but less than 18 may be eligible for apprenticeship only in non-hazardous occupation. Letter B, be physically fit for the occupation in which he desires to be trained. Letter C, possess vocational aptitude and capacity for the particular occupation as established through appropriate tests. And letter D, possess the ability to comprehend and follow oral and written instructions. Next is learner. Any unemployed person who is 15 years old and above may apply for leadership with any participating enterprise. Those below 18 years of age may only be employed in non-hazardous occupation. So dito naman po sa learner, kahit pag 15 years old above ka na, pwede ka na po makapag-apply sa learnership with any participating enterprises. Para sa mga below 18 naman po, pwede po sila ma-employed sa non-hazardous occupation. And learners may be hired in semi-skilled and other industrial occupation which are registered or recognized learnable occupation qualification as approved by the TESDA or in non-apprenticeshable occupation. So dito naman po, learners may be hired in a semi-skilled and other industrial occupation. So kung may semi-skilled ka, pwede kang makuha sa isang trabaho and kailangan naman registered ka and approved by the TESDA. Next is trainer. To ensure complete of trainer in the delivery of apprenticeship, and learnership program, a trainer should have at least 6 months of relevant experience as trainer or an appropriate trainer certification. So dapat po dito ang isang trainer ay kailangan meron siyang at least 6 months na experience sa pagtitrain at kailangan po meron siyang appropriate trainer certification na nanggaling sa mga training company. Yun lang po. Salamat.
Is an apprenticeship a voluntary undertaking or voluntary daw bang gawin? Yes, an apprenticeship is a voluntary undertaking except of the following circumstances. Letter A, kapag may critical na kakulangan sa trained manpower sa ilang mga trades, trabaho o antas ng trabaho kung saan hinihingi ang pamansang seguridad or particular na pangangailangan ng pag-unlad ng ekonomiya. Maaaring irekomenda ng kalinang dole sa Pangulo ang compulsory pagsasanay ng mga apprentice. And letter B, kapag ang serbisyo ng mga foreign technicians ay ginagamit ng mga pribadong kumpanya sa apprenticeship trade. Ngayon, may the Secretary of Labor and Employment authorize the hiring of apprentices without compensation? Yes, the Secretary of Labor and Employment may authorize the hiring of apprenticeship, pagkuha ng hire ng mga apprenticeship ng walang kabayaran sa mga sumusunod na circumstances. Tulad ng letter A, kung ito ay kinakailangan sa pag-aaral. Letter B, bahagi ng isang training program, curriculum. Letter C bilang kinakailangan para sa pagtatapos, and letter D bilang kinakailangan para sa pagsusuri ng board. Sa board. Investigation of violation or paglabag sa apprenticeship or learnership agreement and settlement of dispute. 15.1. The PLAC or Philippine Labor Alliance Council shall motu proprio or upon complaint of any interested party or ibig sabihin, mag-official act taken without a formal request from another party, have initial responsibility sa pag-settling ng differences arising out of apprenticeship or leadership agreement. 15.2. In case naman daw if it is not able to settle or di ma-settle such differences, the PT, ESDC, or the Provincial Technical Education and Skills Development Center ang mag-investigate and submit a recommendation sa RTESDC or Regional Technical Education and Skills Development Committee na magbibigay ng desisyon na isunod sa mga naugnay na tuntunin o regulasyon na maaaring itakda ng TESDA. 15.3. Ang desisyon naman ng RTESDC may be appealed by any aggrieved person o ibig sabihin, maaaring appeal ng sino ng mga taong naagrabyado sa TESDA Director General through the Regional Director within 5 days from the receipt of the decision. 15.4. Any appeal daw by the aggrieved parties or naagrabyadong parties shall be elevated to the Director General na siya namang ipapasa ang apila sa Interim Internal Affairs Service or IIAS para sa wakas ng pagsusuri at rekomendasyon sa Director General. Ngayon, ang desisyon ng Director General ay dapat na final at executory. Termination of apprenticeship or learnership agreement. The following are the valid causes to terminate the apprenticeship or learnership agreement. 16.1 by the enterprise. 16.1.1 kapag daw ang apprentice or learner ay tinanggap ng enterprise bilang regular na empleyado bago matapos ang apprenticeship or learnership program, yun ay termination na naman ng apprenticeship. 16.1.2, kung nakagawi ang pagliban ng apprentice or learner sa panahon ng on-the-job sa pagsasanay ng mga related sa theoretical instruction activities, ito-terminate na ang kanyang agreement. 16.1.3, failure of the apprentice or learner na mag-comply or mag-submit ng mga requirements as part of modules specified in the TP or the training program. 16.1.4, kung sinasadyang pagsuway ng apprentice ng mga patakaran ng kumpanya o pagsuway ng legal ng mga utos or local orders ng superiors. 16.1.5, syempre kung ang work or training program naman ay kailangan ng may malusog na pangangatawan at wala ng disability na makakanan sa pagtatrabaho ng training, yun, kailangan terminate natin ang agreement kapag siya ay in poor physical condition or may prolonged illness. 16.1.6, pagnanakaw o malicyoso pagsira ng ari-arian o kagamitan ng kumpanya. Siyempre, yung mga kailangan sa pagtatrabaho yun. Kailangan i-terminate ang agreement ng apprenticeship. 16.1.7, kawalan ng kakayahan o maninang pagganap habang nasa trabaho. Deficiency of poor performance while on the job or in a classroom or prolonged for a period despite warnings given to him. Dapat i-terminate na ang kanyang apprenticeship agreement. 16.1.8, pagsali sa karahasan o iba pang uri ng maling pag-uugali sa loob ng lugar ng negosyo kung nagkaroon siya ng engagement sa violence. Kailangan na siyang i-terminate ng kanyang apprenticeship. 16.1.2 by the apprenticeship of learner. 16.1.2.1 substandard o nakakapinsanong kondisyon sa pagtatrabaho sa loob ng lugar ng negosyo o hindi maganda yung workplace mo at pwedeng maging peligro sa buhay mo, kailangan mo na siyang i-terminate na ang agreement mo naman. 16.1.2 kung paulit-ulit na paglabag ng negosyo at pinagtatrabahoan mo sa mga tuntunin ng apprenticeship or learnership agreement or ng pinagkasundan nyo, halimbawa, ang pinagkasundan nyo ay encoding ka lang pero nilagay ka sa posisyon na malayo sa encoding, paulit-ulit na hindi na ayon sa kasunduan, dapat i-terminate mo na ang agreement. 16.1.3 cruel or inhumane treatment. Lahat naman tayo kung sa work natin o lugar natin kapag may hindi makataong pagtrato sa atin, dapat doon natin ang action. I-terminate natin yung agreement. 16.1.2.4 ang mga problemang personal na sa palagay ng apprentice nakakaadlang sa performance sa pagganap ng trabaho. Halimbawa, ang mga chismis, love life, or may stalker, or pagkakautang, or lasinggero, or samples of personal problems in nature, ay dapat ka na mag-terminate ang agreement mo. 16.2.5 Siyempre, poor health and continuing illness of the apprentice or learner tulad ng sa enterprise. 16.1.5 Siyempre, kung alam mo sa sarili mo na nagkaramdaman ka, nagkaroon ka ng disability na hindi mo na magagampanan ng apprenticeship, dapat mo nang i-terminate ang agreement. Ano naman daw ang mga grants for revocation of certificate of apprenticeship or learnership program registration? The certificate of apprenticeship or learnership program registration shall be revoked on following grounds. 7.1 Offering of an registered training course or qualification of program o nag-aalok ng hindi rehistradong kurso na pagsasanay, qualification or program. 7.2 Anumang maling deklarasyon, pandaraya o panlinlang na may kaugnay sa pagsusumite ng kumpanya ng mga pinakailangan sa dokumento ng aplikasyon to para sa pagpaparehisto sa programa kung piniki ang mga registration, dapat nang ma-revoke ang certification. 17.3 Failure of the enterprise to migrate its program from or lipat ng NTR or not training regulation to WTR or with training regulation or from old or luma na WTR tapos in-update yung WTR within the prescribed period indicated in the implementing guidelines of the relevant training regulation. Kailangan i-revoke ang certificate. 17.4 Failure of the company to submit the required reports o bigong magsumite ng mga report na may prescribed period ng 3 consecutive at 3 magkakasunod na suggestion na kailangan i-revoke na ang certificate pag hindi pa nila nagawang magsumite ng report. Then, 17.5 panloloko, falsifikasyon, maling presentasyon, o anumang ibang katulad na gawain ng kumpanya na may posibilidad na pahinain, sirain, at magduda sa kredibilidad ng pagsasagawa ng TESDA scholarship program. 17.6 Ghost trainees, apprentice learners. Ghost trainees sila yung mga trainees na nagte-training na tumigil sa pagte-train or yung mga hindi sumunod sa tagal na inaprubahan ng TESDA or yung mga pangalan lamang na isinuti ng mga schools or enterprises pero hindi nag-exist. Dapat i-revoke ang kanilang certificate. 17.7 Fixed action of any unauthorized fees. Siyempre kapag naningil ng other fees na hindi naman ugnay or may kinalaman sa training, i-revoke ang certificate. 17.8 The certificate of apprenticeship program registration shall be revoked when the company fails to enroll apprenticeship for 3 consecutive years. Kung hindi raw na-enroll ng school or company ang apprenticeship, ang apprentice, at nakatatlong years na ng i-enroll na, apprentice na yun. Pag hindi pa nila nagawa ng 3 years, marirevoke ng certificate of apprenticeship program ng school or ng enterprises.